Okay, hi, good morning. Today is December 17th, and this will be the third and final process on how to produce rains when water and power sources are limitless or unlimited. Actually, the first I uploaded that the 7 months ago or 8 months ago, and the second process is was followed after a couple of months. And now the third and final process will be exposed, or will be videotaped for the world to see. And remember, the unlimited source of power comes from the sun, and the unlimited source of water comes from the ocean. Remember that the earth is 75% water, so we will not run out of water. The only thing is it's salt water, but at least we can process it and will become drops as a rain, and unlimitedly we can have a source of water. Now, I found out that the sun, there's a source of power and energy better than the sun, 200% better, night or day, 24 hours a day. And the sun only gives you energy and power when the sun shines. What happened when it goes down in the evening? At 5 o'clock in the evening, there's no more source of power and energy. Now, the third and final process is this. These are nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. There's at least 12 of these in the military arsenal, but we don't want to divulge too much. And this one is the process called, if you Google it, it's hosing down the surface of the aircraft carriers. This one is approximately 2 football size field surface, and they're cleaning it. Why they clean it is because if there's a minute particles of solid or metal that is there on the surface, once the jet engine suck it, it will destroy the multi-million-dollar jet engine. So they don't want to do that. So what they do is they clean it with distilled water came from the two big, huge boilers from the nuclear-powered submarine. And again, the nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. Remember this, the aircraft carriers has nuclear-powered engine that powers it. And assuming that the half-life is 25 years or 50 years, then they cannot turn that off. It's either they can change the use of the nuclear-powered engine or machine to generate electricity, or being used by the 5,000 military personnel inside the aircraft carriers. Now, look at this. This is enormous producing mist in the horizon. If you have 3 of these running, floating from Sacramento or from San Francisco all the way to San Diego, you are producing a lot of mist, and it's already distilled mist, distilled water. Not like this, not like the one that I told you on the second process, that one. When you put those sprinkler system, like the fireman's boat, that during the process, the second process that I explained to you, the fireboat has enormous power to sprinkle the water to the atmosphere, and it will produce a lot of mist, which is doing the opposite of the fire tornado. Instead of fire, it produces trillions and trillions of mist, particles of hydrogen and oxygen, and it produces water, moisture tornado on the environment, and ultimately it will go on, it will become lesser dense than the air, and it floats, and ultimately it condenses or precipitates and drops as a rain. But you need a plenty of that. Now, remember, the first process is this water fountain from Bellagio and the Dubai fountain, which is not feasible because of the availability of water. Lake Mead is 120 foot down. Lake Powell in Arizona is 120 foot down, and it's going down every day. As you can see, look at this. Can you focus this, Michael, please? This is October 12, 2022, CNN. Look, Lake Mead water crisis exposing volcanic rock from eruptions 12 million years ago. So it's still going down. So, but the rain is falling for the last 3 months. But the rain just barely enough to water the plants, to make the moisture available. And still, we need 100,000 times multiplied by that, so that it will replenish the lakes, Lake Shasta, Lake Mead, Lake Powell, and any lakes all over California. Now, if you will let me do the process, this will be very revolutionary, because it will change the civilization. It will change the economy of all Californians for the next 5 years. Remember, if you let my system runs for 5 years, California, which is the Central Valley, is where all the crops and pistachios, oranges, grapes, that is being distributed all over California and all over United States, and some comes from South America or Hawaii. But this is $1 trillion economy right here. If you let the processes runs through 5 years, California will become greener. Those trees on the sides of the freeway will not be depressed, and it will grow bigger and bigger, and it will produce more flowers. And once it produces flowers, it produces a lot of seeds and fruits that the birds might eat it, and it will drop somewhere. And the trillion trees that I claimed, the trillion trees, 8 months ago or 9 months ago, this will be automatically done naturally. You know why? Once it drops, anywhere, I don't know where, but somewhere there, this is 100 miles from the shore, will grow automatically. So you don't need to even plant one seedling, and the trillion trees that I claim will materialize. You know why? After 5 years, after 10 years, it will gonna go up to the near Nevada. We will replenish the snow level, 3,000 to 5,000 or whatever the height of the mountains. It will replenish the thickness of the snow. And the snow, when the sun shines, will melt again, and water will be available. And hopefully 1 or 2 or 10 or a million or 10 million of the trees will be watered automatically by the flowing water from the melting snow. So the trillion trees will automatically happen if the process of producing rains, when water and power sources are limitless or unlimited. Remember that, limitless. It will not run out. Now, it will take, 20 to 25 years. In Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, they're in trouble too. Their drinking water is good for 90 days. Hopefully, it will already replenish from the source of, because Colorado released some of water for drinking for New Mexico 5 months ago. Now, there's a bad news for Oregon. Yesterday, if you go to Yahoo News, right there in front of Yahoo News, on the headline, there's 1.1 million acres of trees here that died because of drought. It's there. I don't have the visuals, but as you can see, last week I was in San Francisco, and I drove along the way I-5, and look, it's exactly the same thing is going on for the last 35 years. Remember, 35 years ago, they killed 25% of the crops or trees, plants of the California Central Valley farmers because of the small fish from Sacramento River. Now, again, it's the same thing. 75% of the Sacramento River's water is being dumped direct to the ocean, which the ocean doesn't need any more water. Why is it that, why can't we capture 50% instead of 25% that is going to be used by the Central Valley farmers all the way to Big Bear? Big Bear, 35 years ago, you cannot go there without using a tire chain during winter because the highway patrol will not let you in because you cannot drive your car. Today, the level of snow is zero. The snow is being produced by the snow producing machines to make artificial snow so that you can slide down that toboggan. Hopefully, we can do something where after 100 years or 50 years, human beings are very, very smart. We learn a lot. We change from sending mails to emails. We don't know what will happen 10, 20, 50 years from now. But this process, it will be comparable. The three processes that I told you, that it will involve the state Congress in Sacramento. Now, because of that aircraft carriers, it involves the federal government, the federal Congress now. It needs their approval. So my attorney is in trouble, or he's probably trying to quit now because I'm giving him so much problem on the rain making. Hopefully, it will. I'll find somebody or a group of attorneys that will help me, because this is. I know that this is not easy to do. I know that this is very, very almost impossible. But we are going to change the civilization. 50 million, 35 million Californians, 15 million Nevadans, millions and millions of Arizonans, New Mexicans. A lot of people will be benefited by the process, but it will creep from California, part of Nevada after 10 years, 20 years right there, and it will replenish the level of snow. The snow will melt and it will produce water, and it flows, and hooray! We have instead of 10,000 lakes, we have 100,000 lakes, and the fish is as big as me, and we have free fish. Now, go to YouTube and check out the first process on how to produce rain, the second process, and the third and final process is the unlimited source of power provided by the nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, or somebody that can make a big ship that is nuclear-powered too, and will produce distilled steam water, and it will produce a lot of moisture, lot of particles of hydrogen and oxygen that will go up because it's lesser density than air, and it will drop as rain. Trillions and trillions of them. Same thing with the second process that I explained right here. The unlimited source of power, the Ivanpah solar power project made by Google. Watch out the video, the second video, the actual filming of the second and first process on how to produce rains when water and power sources are limitless. This project is almost impossible, but building the pyramid in Egypt 300, 500 years ago, it's almost impossible too, but they made it. Look how they moved the 10-ton blocks of solid granite. And how about the Chinese? They built the Great Wall of China. And look, they built the Three Gorges Dam, which is the largest in the whole world. And the Emirates, they built the Burj Khalifa. The Indians, from India, the Taj Mahal. The Aztec in Mexico, they build the ritual structures to honor God. And all the wonders that human beings are made, it's not impossible. We just need to apply the science and tweak it a little bit, and hopefully we have something here. It will not be done very easily. It will take billions and billions of dollars. But again, The Central Valley economy of California is $1 trillion potential economy. We need to help each other. Hopefully, everybody will become not selfish enough to, especially those people, President Biden, the governor, or whoever is interested on the project. Please help me. And we will be changing the climate slowly. This process here, this is very efficient during summer. During this time of the year, which is winter, we don't need this on. Then we can divert it for military purposes. Why this is not efficient? Because it's so cold that the coldness of the temperature, and it's raining too anyway. The rain really replenishes some of the moisture that the atmosphere needs, or the trees. But there's a vacuum, or there's a dome-like action here that prevents the steam to go up. So this is highly efficient during summer, and it will produce a lot of moisture. And ultimately, it goes somewhere there and falls as a rain. Remember this. Remember these factories? These factories right here. Why did you let this on for 46 solid years? In 2019, they demoed this thing. What's the video? The second process of how to produce rains when water and power sources are limitless. And then, look at this factory. It's a cement factory that let the government runs for 50 years. You know why? There's a benefits, but look at the smoke. It produces a lot of smoke. But now, there's oxygen sensors, the cars, everything. So, it's not, the impossibility is not, it's not really that much a problem, because the technology is there. We are holding the most modern iPhone or cell phone in the whole world, and we can do something about it. I really appreciate you watching. Please support my claim. Please, we will change the history. It's life-changing. At least 100 million people will be benefited for the next 10 to 20 years, and for the next 30 and more years, the whole United States will be benefited. You know why? Because it's a ripple effect. The trees in California Central Valley will produce more fruits, and a bigger one, because of the availability of water. The water is not, it's unlimitedly available. It takes a long time. It's billions of dollars too that we need. But hey, $1 trillion economy. And look, it's a ripple effect on the whole United States. And about after a couple of more years, it's all over the world. Remember, the oranges, pistachios of the Central Valley farmers are being sold all over the world. So, the oranges and the apples. I really appreciate you watching, and hopefully something happens here, because we are going to change the history of mankind. We are going to do something better, and our children, great-great-grandchildren, and the following for the next hundreds or thousand years will be telling the history that, hey, those people that before us takes care of the environment. I love you, and subscribe please. Thank you very much.